So I think one thing which I'm very excited about, and then I'm glad that it started this year, but there is a lot of conversation around the rise of AI, like the artificial intelligence in agri-food systems, particularly in forms of AI models being used for digital advisories and a lot of times we know, I mean, as gender researchers, that there are a lot of challenges that women farmers face in terms of accessing this kind of digital agro advisories because of lack of devices. Sometimes it can be connectivity. And there are also a lot of other issues related to the norms and all that. But what's something which has been very invisible in this whole thing has been to do with the algorithmic bias, which is a very critical aspect of all these AI advisories, wherein you see that a lot of these models, artificial intelligence models which run on the large language models, are trained on data which are very generic and sometimes, most times, not context specific, and it leaves out the diverse perspectives that we have from the farmers, whether it's youth, the marginalized farmers, the women farmers, and other socially excluded farmers. So, what was interesting for me this year was to bring the conversation from like talking about these AI models as very gender neutral to actually something where there is a lot of scope of bias and how we can tackle that. So, the initial part of it has been how to evaluate these kind of large language models. So one of the interesting study that I did this year, beginning with understanding how the open AI models like which is ChatGPT and a lot of other Cloud, Gemini, and all of these models, how do they respond to questions on gender equality and women's empowerment in agri-food systems? It was a very basic, simple exercise that we did, wherein we asked some questions and prompts around gender equality and women's empowerment to these models, and we could actually see what are the kinds of biases that emerged in the responses of these models. And of course, it's because these models are also trained on very generic data, very outdated data, very non-context specific data. So it also helped us understand, like build that work to seeing how we can do the evaluations of these models and how to make these models more gender responsive. So that's one study which I am leading, and I'm very interested about it. It's a very new area for me also because it's not like I'm a computer scientist or I understand the technical part of it. But bringing this whole interdisciplinary bit wherein I'm contributing more as a gender researchers and working with the people who do this data and software and IT bit, it's also an interesting thing that I'm doing now. And currently, I'm developing a benchmarking, which is basically an evaluation framework for the large language models in agri-food systems. So this will help us understand and see some of these biases at the start before you even design these kind of apps and all that. So working on that, and now I'm in like that version one of that whole benchmarking framework, and hopefully we'll have like one important framework developed by next year for evaluation of these LLMs on gender responsiveness and inclusiveness. So I think for me, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of excitement around the work that I'm doing. I'm really looking forward to advancing more efforts on that area, particularly given that it's of interest to a lot of donors and other partners as well. This whole gender, digital, and the rise of AI in agri-food systems. So I'm really interested in that area. This is a very new area that I have started working on, and for me, it's been great learning more about what works, what doesn't work, and all that. Also taking forward the discussion on why it should be gender responsive and inclusive. But I think for me, what's the other thing which I hope for, and I believe that it should change, is that I think all the innovations that we are developing at CG level as part of different science programs, I think it's very important to not think about inclusion as an afterthought, but it's something where we really require, and we should have gender researchers in loop from the ideation stage itself, so that whatever we talk about as innovations creating impact, it will be impactful only if you have a team which has diverse thoughts and perspectives coming in from the beginning, and that would really help in bringing the kind of impact that we want to. So I'm looking forward to a change at the CG level, hopefully, which is my hope. But at least, and in that context, I would say that the Digital Transformation Accelerator and Gender Accelerator coming together and working on this whole Center of Excellence on Gender and Digital Inclusion is a very good example. And I hope we should have more such collaborative efforts to ensure that the innovations that we are planning, like, we want to accelerate, should be really impactful and can impact and provide something which is of lot of benefit to the smallholder farmers, particularly women and the socially experienced. So